All right, welcome. Episode 16 of the Cub Necessities. I got Brigham Baker here with me. How you doing there, bud?
I'm doing well. It's great to be here.
Yeah, dude. I like your shirt. Where would one get a shirt like that?
Oh, that's actually interesting that you have asked that. This is my dad's new t-shirt company called Spear Point Apparel. And you can find it on the website at spearpointapparel.com.
That is interesting for anyone who would be interested in something like that. That's incredible.
Yes. This is one of the many. And he will be making jean jackets soon. That's the new top. It's they're pretty nice. They're like fitted. They're made for men. So
Gotcha.
There's no female options yet.
Now, as far as marketing that product, would that company be interested in like maybe a multimedia personality, possibly advertising said product?
That actually couldn't hurt. We have just gotten on social media, so maybe there could be some sort of partnership or something.
Yeah.
We don't have a voice.
Well, it might be smart to partner with someone who, I don't know, has a couple hundred Twitter followers, a couple hundred Instagram followers, just on their podcast account alone.
That couldn't hurt. You're speaking our language.
Yeah, dude. I think it'd be a good idea. It would make a good fit brand wise.
You should talk to my dad about it. I think he would very much enjoy that.
All right, cool. Other than your sick ass shirt from spearpointapparel.com, how else you been, buddy?
I've been well. Haven't been doing much. Montana, they're opening everything back up, so been doing some football, and I'll have a job here. I guess I'm coming back to a job, but in the meantime, spend some time with the family. Keaton's shipping out.
When is he leaving?
About 3 weeks. He leaves on the 21st of July. So
shit. Yeah, we got to throw him a party or something. He's got to come up here, visitor. We all got to go down there.
I agree. Yeah, we're not going to see him for a while, and we need to give him a good send off.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, he's a multiple time guest on this podcast, so it would only be right.
Yes. Yeah, I listened to yours, and I guess it would have been the third episode, his first appearance.
Oh, you're referring to Keaton Baker Crosses Streams, episode 3.
Yes. That was so funny. I was like, driving by myself. This was going back to Helena for like the second time within like a 2-month span. And I was like laughing out loud. I'm just by myself, cracking up. People are passing me and giving me weird looks. It was hilarious.
Well, it's appreciated, man. We work hard here. Me and my team.
I can tell.
Me and everyone behind me here works real hard to make sure we have a good production. So
I love that the constant squatting. I think I might have to debunk your theory there about squatting forever. I think the lactic acid would build up, and you probably just wouldn't be able to move your legs anymore.
Oh, you're referring to if you did squats every day for the rest of your life, could you fly?
Yeah. Could you fly? Yeah, I don't know. But then again, no one's ever done it.
No one's ever done it, Brigham. That's my point. Is it possible? Maybe not. But is it? I don't know. Maybe.
No one's ever sat down and done the work. So
no one's ever squat every day for their life and then been able to fly. Now saying it's probably not possible, but doesn't hurt to try. You'd have sick thighs at the end either way, dude. You'd have sick quads. And at the end of the day, really, that feels like you're flying. If you have sick teardrop quads, the little split there?
Oh, yes.
That's basically like flying.
Same results. You get the same looks.
Yeah, dude. People are like, I bet that guy can fly.
He can jump high enough to fly. I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah, and even better if you got like sick teardrop quads, right? The rip, what I'm talking about? That little split down the middle. And then you also have those quads or the calves that just look like a tennis ball is under your skin, just real high and tight. And they're just bulging
out.
Yeah, dude. And then you could just
Well, the last thing you need to add to that is a pair of jean shorts that are short enough that the pockets come out, and
Mhm.
that's the look.
And
That's it.
maybe one testicle like at a time, not both, but like let's say you
Can't have
bend
both.
down or something, one pops out. It's like no big deal, dude.
No big deal. Look at his quads. Look at
Yeah,
those legs. I don't
look,
care.
I don't care. You can have a ball out, man. I don't care. He looks great. Well, I'm glad you're coming on, dude, because it's been an
Yeah.
interesting week or months or year. I guess 2020 has just been
Yeah.
an entirely fucking wild year, dude.
Yeah. It's been a little bit of a mess. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's good to be here. I've listened to all of your shows, and it's kind of funny being like a long term friend. It's still like informative. I love all the. I mean, I know like 90% of the people that have been on, so
Yeah.
it's funny to hear them
Yeah.
talk, and yeah, so it's good time.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say informative, dude, because like I've said, done zero research on anything that I've ever talked about.
Yeah,
So,
that's fair.
yeah, it's mostly just flying by the seat of my pants. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
uh, so Brigham and I have known each other for a long time, and we have done a series of Instagram videos together for their
Oh
channel, the
yes.
Baker Boy Shenanigans.
Oh yes.
There is one unreleased video that has never yet before seen the public, for good reason. For good reason, it's never been released to the public because it's a little wild. Um, but yeah, we've made some funny videos. What did we name the one series where? Oh, I guess you weren't there. You were
I
there.
was yeah. I was
Your
gonna say
cutout was there. Yeah, I guess your cutout was
yeah.
there, but you weren't
That
there.
was I miss Brigham series. There was like 6, maybe 9 episodes, so it was
Yeah.
those are great to watch too. So
Yeah, how does it feel? Because that must feel nice to have your brothers do an "I Miss Brigham" series that is completely satirizing you, basically, in the most obscene
yeah,
ways. In the episode arc that I featured on, I played a priest who was trying to exorcise the demon out of the cardboard cutout of
hmm
you that they had, and the way we did that was we had your own brother suck it out of the cardboard cutout's dick. Basically, we had him suck the demon.
yeah, that was nice. The I enjoyed that, and it was also like there was some it was very like satirical. There was a lot of like um making fun of stuff that maybe I do that they don't quite like, which is funny. And yeah, the like calling me like kind of a know-it-all and stuff like that. That it was very funny. It was in good
It
taste.
was
But
perfect. It was, dude. They
yeah,
were the
and
perfect series. The ultimate
Graham.
compliment, if you will.
Seriously, yes, it was. It came by surprise and like, hey, check this out. I'm like, oh, 6 episodes. Holy crap! And yeah, they were funny. It was a good time.
Yeah, they were fun to make, dude. I wish you had been there for that one, even though you were the featured component. You weren't even there.
Yeah,
I
technically.
wish you would have seen us trying to come up with ideas because it was pretty fucked up. It was a pretty fucked
Yeah,
up filming process.
I also love I think the most shocking part of the series was either the sucking the demon out, literally, or Keaton's naked benching, where just I don't know what it was that was covering his privates, but it was not large, and I don't know if they said something about Keaton, but it covered it all.
Yeah, it did.
So
It did manage to cover everything. So, Keaton, if you're listening, we still love you, but it's okay, man.
yeah,
Everyone,
the secret's out. Come on.
it's okay to, some people are big, some people are small, some people are tall, some people are short.
Can't control it.
You can't control it and you just got to live with it, buddy. So we still love you. Yeah, dude. All right. So here's a couple things I want to talk with you about because I think
Sounds good.
we can really break this subject down. So COVID-19, the virus that has
Yes.
basically butt fucked our nation for the last 6 months or
Agreed.
however long. I don't know. I've lost track of time. Do you think it's a possibility? And this is kind of just speculation. Do you think it's a possibility that it's a man-made disease? Are the crazy like right wing people, are they out of their fucking mind, or is it like that's a possibility?
I find it really hard to believe. Although I have not done my own personal research, hearing about it, it's just, I mean, it's affected the world. I haven't heard any of the pros for like who would go like,
Yeah.
this is great. Like, I mean, I guess technically the only people that have profited from this would be, I guess, at home workers, or I guess some of the bigger companies that have made a ton of money because people are at home. They're just shopping. They're like, oh, I'll jump on Amazon, see what sounds
Yeah.
cool to do in my house. And I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. But as far as like a government's concerned, I think it just made everyone weak, as
Yeah.
a nation as a whole. I mean, I think everyone's, it's been detrimental for everyone. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't think so.
I agree with that. Like, I mean, most of the outlets that are saying that it's a man-made disease are also the people that are fist fighting people in grocery stores. If they tell them to wear a mask, they're like, "I don't have to
Yeah.
wear a mask," and then they start throwing cans of beans at the employees. Like, hey, it's it's a piece of paper. It's like a piece of cloth. Just cover
Yeah.
your mouth with
Come
it,
on.
you
It's for
fucking
10
crazy
minutes.
person. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Could you
Come on.
imagine? Could you imagine being such a self-absorbed asshole that you're like, I don't wanna, and then you like fucking throw a 3-year-old tantrum in a store. I've seen
And you're
hundreds of videos.
spitting at people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are literally hundreds of videos of people reacting that way. It's like, has it? Has everyone lost their fucking mind? I kind of
Yeah.
think so.
And the funny thing is, like, the trend with that seems to be like on the elderly side, those people. And that one kind of makes sense to me because I think when you get at a certain age, you're just like, look, man, I'm going to live my life. I don't care about what anyone thinks. And like, it's
Yeah,
kind of funny in a way. Like, everyone has at least one grandparent that's like, I'm going to say what I want. And if you don't like it, that's fine, but I'm just going to say it. And so, if that can get a little harmful, that can get a little funny, at like family reunions and stuff. But yeah, it's the stubborn people that just go like, I'm going to do this. And I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know what to
yeah.
say about that.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. It's like a lot of people that are like kind of stuck in their ways. They're like, whatever. I live in Florida. Who cares? I could die at any minute.
Yeah,
This is Florida.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I get that. I get that part of it. But what I don't get is like, because the videos that I'm talking about, I see a lot of like, 34-year-old, 40-year-old white women throwing a fucking conniption because someone told them to put
yeah,
on a mask. And then they're like, I don't wanna. And then they freak out. And it's like, what does it matter? I mean, like,
yeah. That one, I don't get the motive for that. I don't get
I don't
like
get it at all, dude.
I mean, even if you go like, I'm someone that doesn't believe in this virus or something, like
Yeah.
there's people out there that go like, nope, it's like, it's a lie. The media has made it up. This thing doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You go, okay, well, why not just be like a respectful person and just
Dude,
wear the dang cloth over your face for
dude,
10 minutes?
that's the thing. It's like, it's not even if you were like, this is a hoax, like, wouldn't you think it would just be easier to go throughout your life? Like, just so you don't get that sort of heat from people in public, just like put
Yeah,
the fucking mask on. I mean, it's so simple. But,
yeah,
some people are too stupid or just like so stubborn that they can't, some people are just fucking idiots.
yeah. Yeah. There's just, I mean, have respect for others. I don't know. That's the only thing I can. They lack
Right.
that. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Some people lack it. Some people are just have dog shit brains, and you can't help that. Sometimes you're a lot in life. You're dealt a shitty card of hands, and your brain is made of dog shit, and then people have to deal with you and your dog shit brain. And what are you gonna do? It just happens.
Yeah. No, that's true. I might be in that category, so it kind of stings a little to hear it, but I'm
Well,
not going to disagree with you.
if it makes you feel any better, Brigham, I am for sure in that category. Okay, I can barely read. I am a fucking idiot. So, what are you gonna do? Some people are like that, me included. I have a dog shit brain, but sometimes you just gotta, like I said, you gotta roll with your lot in life, and I made it work so far. So, what are you gonna
Yeah, that's exactly right.
do? Now, speaking of dog shit brains, okay, some people, like we said, some people are born with dog shit brains. Do you think, with the advent of CRISPR, the genetic engineering company, that we will be able to, in the near future, make sure that no one has a dog shit brain? We can just delete all the genetic code for dog shit brains.
I think that's a a great topic of discussion. That's one of those topics. I'm sure everyone's had one in their life where you hear about it and you go like, that literally blows my mind. Like
Yeah.
I can't stop thinking about it. And the crazy thing about that, or I guess for the people who aren't sure what CRISPR is, I guess the most simple explanation is it's like a gene editing tool. So, and it's very cost efficient, be simple to do, and literally get it done within a day. Where basically all you do is you take a sequence of nucleotides, which basically like encode for genes. You can remove it or edit it, and you can replace it with what you want. So an example would be if I had a gene that ran in my family where I had an extra toe. If I didn't want my kids to have an extra toe, I could remove that gene. I could just remove it. And then boom, my kids are born without the toe. So it's incredibly powerful, and it has to be done at birth, though,
Yeah.
of whatever animal they're editing. And I think, but with the brain, that's a little more difficult because there's a lot of genes that encode the brain.
Yeah.
And so we don't know every gene in our body. We don't know specifically what everything does. And I think that would be difficult. I think someday it's possible. Sure. I
Yeah.
think we'll be able to know what every gene does, but I think that's quite far in the future. It's incredibly difficult to figure out, especially on humans, because we basically discover genes from other animals because ethically you can't go like you can't dive into someone's genetics
Yeah. That makes
basically
sense.
while they're alive. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I maybe yeah, it's possible in the future. I just don't think it'll ever happen due to the ethical reasons because also I mean, the danger of that is if you remove a gene that you go, oh, this codes for intelligence. Like I am like 99% sure,
Mm-hmm.
and then it doesn't, and it encodes for I don't know. I mean an extra arm, and you add what's called a gene drive to make sure that every kid that person has will have it. It's a guarantee. Then you've just created basically a new race of people with another arm, and the only way to get rid of it is to remove them, and that's illegal. So
Yeah.
it's incredibly dangerous.
That's only been attempted one time in history, and people did not fare with it very well.
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit! Who is that? We got some. You got some friends in the background there,
Oh,
buddy.
do I?
Oh,
I have Keaton, previous guest on the show, and I have August, possible future guest. Yeah, not possible, definite douchebag.
definite douchebag.
Yeah, but
uh,
yeah, it's crazy stuff.
dude. Okay, so do you think that it would be possible? Okay, brains might be a little complicated, right? Would it be
Sure.
possible to code someone with quads and calves that would be able to make them jump over buildings?
That would be impressive. Depends on the height of the building, most likely. But
Okay.
I think it's absolutely possible to give to enhance someone's calves or quads. It would have to be at birth, and you'd have to be hopefully successful at it. But that might be a little difficult, but definitely possible. And but I think the craziest part about CRISPR though, like the craziest part, oh gosh, yeah, is that like theoretically terrorists could use it, and they could do it very easily. I mean, there is like instructions on how to do it, and it's not difficult. It doesn't cost a lot. Where you could basically, you could edit someone to be like, I don't. You could no, well maybe, but I mean like bioweapons. You can make someone susceptible to bioweapons that like stuff that normally wouldn't be. And if you install a gene drive, it will take over the population at a unless that person is removed. But say that person has 3 kids and those 3 kids have 3 kids,
Yeah.
and you have to like kill a whole bunch of people and you can't do it. And the only way to fix it would be to edit them again, and that becomes a tricky process. And I mean, like it's incredibly dangerous. You could theoretically wipe out the population with it.
Well, it just sounds like that's what a lot of people would have you believe that's what Bill Gates is doing right now, right? There's like all
Bill
those
Gates? Oh, with the malaria?
Yeah, well, there's so many conspiracy theories about like his like fucking vaccine program and like his COVID you know what I mean? Like he's like trying to cure diseases, and everyone's like, he's gene editing the people.
Oh gosh,
you know who's saying it.
Yeah.
We can't even say his name. He's the boogeyman. If you say his name out loud,
He's the boogeyman.
you get taken down off all platforms. But yeah, guys like that are definitely being like, he is involved in some sort of human genome editing process, but fucking, there's no evidence of any of those things. So what are you gonna do?
Well, I think the crazy thing about Bill Gates that people don't talk about is he donates like millions of dollars to malaria research, and malaria kills so many people a year, and mostly in Africa. I mean, Africa's the countries aren't terribly wealthy, and people die all the time from malaria. And that's actually one of the big CRISPR projects is to edit the whatever gene carries malaria in mosquitoes, and or edit it out and then introduce them to the population. And after time, mosquitoes wouldn't carry malaria, and it would I don't know if it would cure everything, but yeah, people would stop dying from malaria. He's donated so much money to that, and people still find a way to rip on him. And it's like, it's kind of a sad, like no one brings that up. He saved so many lives, and so.
Yeah, no, he gets a bad rap. He gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
But, that's all rich people. I mean, rich people
That's
suck.
fair.
Rich people suck, but also it's like, they some help, some don't. But, they just, because they have a lot of money, you'll be like, fuck them. That's basically the whole sentiment. And then you get like, people, like I fucking rag on Jeff Bezos all the time, but he's probably a fine guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't. Some actions I go like, well, all right, but I guess you're going through a rough divorce and all that stuff, and wife took half his money, but he still has a lot of it. And
he's still got he's almost got like $1 trillion. He's almost a trillion.
Yeah.
So tough to feel bad for him.
Yeah, it really is. But I saw, like, I was just baffled by this on Twitter. I'm not a huge fan of Twitter. It shows basically one side of like politics, and it's kind of nice hearing, like basically everything on Twitter, because there is everything on Twitter. It's just predominantly one side. But I saw this tweet. Jeff Bezos donates $10 billion, 10 billion with a B, to the Australian like fires, or basically I forget the exact charity that he donated money to, but people are like, that's it. That's it. And you're like, what? I'm sorry, what? That's single-handedly like the biggest donation a single person has ever made by a long shot. Like all these billionaires are going like, yeah, here's $5 million. And you go, even that, you feel like, damn, okay. Yeah, with more people do this, we're getting somewhere. He donates 10 billion. And all these people are like, you have more, give more, you only need a certain amount. And you go like, okay, well, he's earned that money fair and square, it seems like. And he just gave away the biggest portion of money, anyone's ever seen. At like, I guess not anyone, but yeah, I mean, just such a large amount, and people are still ripping on him. You're like, he just solved the problem. $10 billion put out that fire, and it did. And I don't know if that was money. It was.
Well, what they did is they took that $10 billion and they got it wet, and then they dropped it out of the plane onto the fires. Like
that's how much money it was.
Yeah, a bunch of wet paper towels. They just laid it over all the flames. No, so I don't disagree with that sentiment, Brigham, but let me propose a counter argument to that. Okay.
Of course.
He has I don't even know what his net worth is, like $900 billion. Does that sound accurate?
Well, I think that's his company. I believe
Yeah.
he's because technically
Yeah.
you couldn't just go like, well, let
Yeah.
me, I'm just going to obtain all that money. You can't.
No.
But I think like his wife took 70 billion, I believe, and he has, I think, like somewhere around 80 now or something. Together, I believe they had 140, but he's made more since then.
Well, let me look this up. I can look it up.
That's a good idea.
So, but here's my point. Okay, so his net worth is $161 billion.
It's a decent amount.
That's a decent amount. That's more money than anyone's ever had in the history of money ever. Okay,
Oh, sure. Oh,
ever
yeah.
since we've invented money, he's had the most of it. Okay.
Yes.
Now the counter argument to your thing is, how much money do you think is necessary to live a fulfilled life?
Ooh. If I had to guess, I'd say somewhere around 140 billion.
It's true.
No,
So he could have
yeah.
even in that case, he still could have gave 10 more billion dollars.
Yeah.
But I mean,
No,
okay. So
I entirely agree.
yeah.
I mean, you don't need that much money. I mean,
Well,
it's awesome, but
data shows, Brigham, that there is an exponential return. So it's not exponential, the return on money to correlation to happiness, right? It actually decreases once you pass a certain threshold, which is like, it's pretty low. It's like $70,000 a year. Once you make past that amount, more money actually makes you less happy because that increases the level of problems
that's
you
crazy.
have, right? So
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
if you can live a perfectly happy, comfortable life at $70,000 a year, which is a minuscule fractional amount of $161 billion, right? That's not even, that's like
Yes.
less than a percentage point of, it's less than like it's less than 1/1 billionth of whatever that fucking money.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so he has so much money. There's no way it's making him happier. There's no way he's like every day wakes up and is like, I have $160 billion. I'm the happiest
Yeah.
man alive.
Another dollar. I'm
Yeah.
happier.
He's
Yeah.
not Mr. Krabs, dude. He's not like, so if that's the case, right? More money doesn't make you happier necessarily. Then it would seem to reason that he could probably part ways with at least a couple more Billies, bro. You know what I mean?
I agree. And yeah, it seemed weird coming from people like, and then of course this, I don't know if this is I looked through their profiles, people that were tweeting this,
Yeah.
and they are people that, let's just say, might be below the $70,000 mark, and these people talking about like money, and and I don't know. I think it's wrong to come from.
No, I agree,
Well,
dude.
I mean,
I
I
agree.
guess it's not wrong to voice your opinion. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. I mean, well,
yeah, let's just,
well, hang on. Yeah, I guess let's just say you're given the right to,
yeah.
but sometimes you go, maybe
Silencio,
not.
por
Yeah,
favor.
yeah, exactly.
Uh,
But yeah, it was kind of funny hearing it from those people, but you don't hear it from I don't know, the people with more money. And like the interesting thing is Warren Buffett has a quote that basically, or I don't know if it was an interview, I don't know what it was, but basically he at one point he was like top 5 in the world for how much money he's made. And he said that the desire to earn money does not stop. It doesn't matter. It's the same as it was when he didn't have nearly as much as he did. And but he's another guy that's like similar to Bill Gates. He's donated so much money to charity, and it seems like most of the large donations they come from the people that, or I mean, this should be obvious. It comes from the people that have the most money, and they're donating more. Like the $10 billion that Jeff Bezos donated was more than anyone on Twitter combined.
Yeah.
And so I guess maybe I don't know, Bill Gates probably has a Twitter and, but, it's so much money.
Yeah.
And yet these people are complaining about it. And I go like, well, that solved the problem. $10 billion should get the problem solved. And if he wants to like donate more elsewhere, obviously that's an option. And, to give $70 billion to the fire relief, then where does that money go? Like that. So I don't know. I think it's a tricky subject.
Well, it's tricky because your instinct is to go like, I understand the sentiment. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
you could have given way more money. Like, okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense. He probably could,
Oh,
but
you
also
could.
he
Yeah.
gave as much money as possible. But then,
Yeah.
conversely, his company paid like what $0 in corporate tax last year.
Really?
Yeah, Amazon barely pays any corporate tax, almost zero.
Well, that could be why they're making they're gonna, or they already hit the $1 trillion mark.
Yeah.
One of the first. Yeah.
So I mean, you think like, okay, well, if they found a way to avoid those taxes, more power to them, I guess. Like, well, they figured it
Yeah.
out.
More
Yeah,
money. Yeah.
yeah, great, good. But also, that money comes directly. I mean, that money doesn't go back into the community; it goes back into Amazon's portfolio, right? If they did pay
Yeah.
that tax, then who does it go to? It goes to the government, who isn't historically the best, manager of money. They don't exactly have a good track record at doling out. They gave
Yeah.
almost $1.4 billion in stimulus checks to dead people.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, yeah. So
Interesting
I still
choice.
I
Yeah.
still haven't gotten mine, and someone who has been dead for a couple of years just got theirs.
Yeah.
So maybe they don't.
Interesting.
They
Yeah.
don't exactly know what the fuck they're doing, but no
Yeah.
one does, right? So it's like we're all human,
That's
we're
exactly
all
right.
fallible, right? Everyone fucks
Yeah.
up. So it's like,
Yeah.
are you mad at Amazon for not paying corporate tax? Yes, understandable. Where does that money go to? A bunch of other people who are stupid. The government. Who do they send that money
Exactly.
to? A bunch of dead people. Who are those dead people? They don't do anything with it. I mean, it's just a big circle jerk of fucking people
It is.
mismanaging, and then the winners, Amazon, who
Yeah.
managed to successfully manage our capital. There's a reason they're worth $1 trillion, just because they were like, well, let's
Yeah.
not give money to dead people, and then we'll probably have more money. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that adds up.
Well,
So,
yeah, that makes sense.
and then the founder of
Yeah.
Amazon, Jeff Bezos, he goes, well, this is my idea. I should get a lot of money for it because it's worth this much. And he does. And then
Yeah.
what does he do with that money? Does he buy an army of jet skis and just have as much fun as possible? I don't care. Do whatever you want. Do you want to put out fires in
Yeah.
Australia? That's your prerogative. But also,
Yeah.
some of that money is ill-gotten gains because you didn't pay a tax. Like I have to pay tax. Why the fuck
Yeah.
doesn't Amazon have to pay tax?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you're right. It's really hard because it's all gray area. There's no black and
That's
white.
exactly right. That is exactly right. I think, yeah, it's weird coming from, yeah. It's ironic that, yeah, those people are like, you can donate more, yet they're like, well, how much have you donated?
Yeah. Which is
And
I mean, you haven't put anywhere near $10 billion, which is fine.
yeah.
But,
Yeah.
it's kind of just like, well, do what you can, I guess. And if you could do more, do more. But if you can't, it's like,
Yeah.
it's your prerogative. Also, he couldn't have donated any of that money and just bought a big golden dick-shaped rocket
That's
ship and sent it into the sun.
exactly right. Yeah. I mean, just to go, yeah, screw all you people. Yeah. And I'm honestly, I'm a little curious to see how much money is donated to the COVID-19 relief.
I bet you it's a big number, dude. And
Yeah.
he could help a lot of people with that money, or he could build a series of satellites that project "fuck you" onto the entire northern continent, and he has
Yeah.
that money, and
He can do it.
he
Yeah.
can do it. So do what you want, I guess.
Yeah.
Most importantly, give me some money. Give me a lot
Yeah.
of
Hey,
money.
toss a little this way.
Promote a podcaster. Give him all the money. Give me money, Jeff Bezos.
I can't believe that. Well, I mean, I think now, like, it's kind of funny, like in hindsight, Captain Hindsight from South Park. I think the $10 billion would have done very well with the COVID-19 relief, and maybe he donated too much money to the fires, because I'm sure. Then again, I don't know. I had
Yeah.
not done the statistics for it, but maybe $1 billion could have helped relieve the fire, and then maybe the 9 could have gone to the COVID-19. And I don't know. That's kind of the funny
Yeah.
part now.
You're not wrong, but here's an idea. He could have taken $10 billion and built the world's biggest water park and just demolished the city of, I don't know, pick a shitty city, pick any shitty city.
He could probably buy LA. He could
Yeah.
probably just buy LA.
Buy
And
most of LA, demolish it, turn it into a water park, admissions free. There you go. You could have done that.
for charity.
For
Everyone
charity.
can
Yeah.
swim for free.
During the COVID-19. He does it during COVID-19,
Yeah.
so everyone gets
Yeah.
COVID-19.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, we're going to build this water park, but there's nowhere to wash your hands. Absolutely
Yeah.
nowhere to
Just
wash your hands.
wash it in the water that everyone's bathing in.
If you can sneeze into
a
someone's face while you're there, please do it.
just do it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's kind of crazy because you want to be like, fuck rich people because they have.
Yeah.
It's like a natural instinct to be like, you have more than me.
It is.
Fuck you. But at the same time, but like America has this it's just the conscious of the country that is like, well, that could be me one day. I could be a millionaire, which is not out.
Dream.
It's not out of the realm of possibility to be a millionaire in America. It's probably one of the best places to do it. In fact, it's like, people can become titans of industry here, right? That's why people move to America, because that's lessening
land of opportunity.
For sure.
Exactly.
Well, it's lessening, I think, every year now. But I mean, what are you going to do?
Well, especially with this whole thing. Like, I feel bad for the people that are like, in October, they're like, I'm going to open, I don't know, a roller rink where everyone's around each other all the time. It's going to be awesome. I've saved up the money. I took out some loans. This is going to be incredible. And then boom, COVID-19 hits. Everyone's like, you got to stay quarantined. And this guy just lost his business that he had for, a month. Or it could have been he started earlier in the 2019, and then he just loses it now and kind of go like, that's a bummer.
Yeah,
that's a bummer. Could have been a great idea, but
Well, you also have to think it's kind of his fault for starting a business that hasn't been cool since 1992. Like,
yeah.
Why is he opening a roller rink? He just loves roller skating.
What are you doing?
That's fine, but no one does that anymore.
But no one likes that anymore.
No one.
Outdated.
That's like that's like opening a movie rental store that rents out DVD.
Yeah, another Blockbuster.
Yeah, it's like, okay, sure. It's a fucking terrible idea.
It's a bad idea, though.
It's a real bad idea. I mean, you could do it if you made it like kind of like nostalgic, but also still, it's a stupid idea. It's
a dumb idea. I think, that kind of reminds me of the whole Redbox situation. I remember seeing a Redbox and going like, that's an incredible idea. I wonder how they make money off of that. $1 movies. That's insane. And now that's out of it. Like, that's gone.
Yeah, that's gone
like
too.
Out of business, and that's incredible. That would be something I'd go like, nope, that's the future. It should be a Redbox every 5 steps you take. No, that's kind of crazy to me. Streaming has really killed that.
Well, what's even kind of shitty is that I think movie theaters are done, dude. Movie theaters are going to be completely done.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I honestly disagree with that. But in theory, you go like, that makes total sense. Why would people go do that? But when you can stream it. But what's interesting is the box office, basically going to theaters, that has increased every year since like the 50s or so, like long time ago. Well, except for this year, but because of the COVID-19. And I think it's only growing. Oh, I mean, look at like the Disney in 2019, or maybe it was 18, had 7 different movies that made each $1 billion in theaters alone. And that's pretty incredible. I guess it'll honestly depend on how people treat the COVID-19, how
Well,
basically people act post COVID-19.
I
It's
mean,
still kind of
the thing is though that a lot of those theater companies like AMC and Cinemark and things like that, they're going
yeah,
under, dude. They're tanking. They don't have any business, right? So they can't make any money. So a lot of
yeah,
them are filing
absolutely.
Chapter 11, which it sucks because I agree with you. I love going to the movies. It's one of my favorite
Oh,
things
I
to do.
love it. I go alone.
Dude,
That's
same. I go alone too.
yeah,
I
right?
love to do it. I love to just sit down, watch a movie, and like I don't have to. I can just fucking focus. And I like that. Like
Yeah,
I love the aspect of like turn your phone off, you get some
yeah,
popcorn, and you're just like in a dark room with a big screen. It's a better like it makes it
yeah.
an event and it's like fun, and it
Exactly,
makes the movie better
exactly.
because
It
it's just an
does. It does.
experience. Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, I remember like certain situations where, um, let's see what, um, well, I okay, so I went and saw Avengers Endgame, of
yeah,
course, like I think most people um in the United States and probably China too went to go see, and I went with a group of friends, but I was on the outside, and I forget what scene it was. It might have been when Captain America picks up Thor's hammer or something. Yeah, I love those movies.
yeah.
They're awesome. And people are cheering, and it's kind of fun. I'm not necessarily yelling out, or
Yeah.
anything. But I just remember the guy on the left of me turns to me, and I just high five. Didn't know the guy. Did not know the guy at all. He turned out and just no words, high five. We turned back, watched the movie. It was incredible. I just remember thinking about that after the movie, going like, I shouldn't be thinking about this. I should be thinking about the movie. But no, I just high fived the stranger over, some
Yeah.
dumb movie scene. So funny though. It was a
Yeah.
great moment.
Yeah, dude. Well, I agree. It's like the group experience makes it a lot more fun.
Yeah.
I went and saw Joker in theaters, right?
Oh, me too.
I
Three
went
times.
so I went and saw the Joker in theaters and but I went by myself and in front of me was a row of homeless men, I would say, right, who all had their backpacks and they looked dirty and disheveled. And it
Yeah.
made the movie honestly better because I was like, "Oh, these guys are kind of like creepy like
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like like they could have like fucking weapons with them and they kind of look like they
Yeah.
could be a part of the Joker's crew a little bit. So I was like,
Yeah.
I was like watching the movie and it's like an intense movie. So I'm on edge of my seat.
Yeah.
It's fucking Keaton's face in the background. God damn it. Sorry.
He, oh, yeah, he is.
Yeah, no, he's been doing faces behind you this whole time. I'm trying to
No, of
keep
course he
talking.
has.
Okay, but anyways, so I'm watching this movie, and it's like an intense movie, so I'm on the edge of my seat, right? But then
Yeah.
the added element of these fucking sketchy looking dudes in front of me, it
Yeah.
honestly made the experience more intense and more fun because I was like, kind of on edge,
Yeah.
like, am
You
I
are actually on the edge of your seat.
like, am I gonna have to punch a gunman or like, what am I? You know what I mean? But meanwhile, like Joaquin Phoenix is acting his fucking dick off, and I'm like,
Oh, I know. So good.
I got an eye on the exit. I'm like, I gotta check the fire. Okay, exits.
Yeah.
I'm doing like a count. Like if this guy will help me beat up anyone.
Yeah.
And then like, meanwhile, it's such a great movie. But then I'm
Oh, it
also
is.
just kind of like, I'm a little bit like on edge. So it made it a more fun experience. And it's weird
Yeah.
to say that, but it's true that like just even the advent of a fucking creepy random guy that I don't know in a movie
Yeah.
that's supposed to be a little bit creepy and fucked up, it made it a
Yeah.
better experience. So like, yeah, if you're gonna go see a Marvel movie and high five someone when Captain America, it's like that is an element that you don't get when you watch it at home. The unfortunate
Exactly.
part is though that I think like a lot of studios are just gonna be like, well, it doesn't make sense. We make the same amount of money if we just. I mean, right now they've made the same
Yeah.
money, but like I think once everything opens up for good,
Hmm.
um, yeah, I don't think that like streaming directly to your home is going to be. It's not going to be as lucrative just because people are going to be like, I want to go do something. You know what I mean? I want to go do an
Yeah.
event.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. And
I hope they
yeah.
can weather the storm. That's what I hope.
I am honestly, I'm hoping that too. And I mean, yeah, when I went and saw Joker for the first time, saw it by myself. Um, I when I walk past like right in the entrance, and this is in Montana. This is in
Mhm.
Montana. So there, and I remember hearing about it, going like, there's kind of like a political thing to it. I'm like, oh, well, interesting. And that there was like specifically like, I don't know how else to put this, but school shooter vibes. I was
Yeah.
like, weird. Okay, well, I get from the Joker, maybe. Okay. But I'm going to see it, I think like the second day it was out. And there's a police officer at the entrance. And I'm like, oh, weird. I wonder what's going on there. Like, are we gonna get like a bomb threat kind of thing, or what's the deal? And I guess to each like showing there was and because when I went the second time there was also a police officer there. I'm thinking like, wow, and I didn't get it until I watched it, and then at the end at a specific scene I'm like, boom, yes, I get it, that makes sense. Yep. In fact, bring two officers, because that,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, dude.
yeah, that could be the next Dark Knight kind of thing, it would, yeah, that shooting. So
Well, it's funny because like that was a pretty powerful movie on that
yeah,
note, and I think that if COVID-19 hadn't come around and there's like no crowds anywhere, so there's no one
yeah.
to go like attack, I think that it could have possibly motivated some sick individuals to kind of same thing with Dark Knight, right? Like, uh,
Oh, I could see it.
but luckily, and this is a little weird to think, maybe COVID-19 saved some lives. What do we
Yeah.
think?
Ooh, yeah. That is
Is that
honestly
possible?
well. Let's see here. I think let's see, the movie what came out in October.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you might be right. Yeah, towards the last like month in
Yeah.
theaters, it definitely could have done something.
Well,
Yeah,
and then
that's kind of scary to think about.
well, yeah, and it just came out on streaming, so now maybe maybe there could be some effects, but who knows? I don't
Yeah,
think so.
yeah,
Hopefully not. Hopefully
yeah,
every sick fuck who watched that movie was just like, whatever, it's a good movie. That's it.
yeah. No, and I think the craziest part about that is like, I think the funniest part of that whole like making that movie was it was the guy that did The Hangover.
I
The
know, dude.
Hangovers. That's
Yeah.
Todd Phillips. That's literally out of nowhere, and there wasn't. And I mean, I guess there was a few like I don't know what you want to call it, like anti-comedy kind of like funny parts about
Yeah.
this poor guys getting like picked on. There's like certain but yeah, just a big shocker, and no big film company wanted to do it, and then finally Warner Bros is like, all right, we'll let you do it, but we're going to give you a tiny little budget and good luck. And it became the most I believe besides the Blair Witch Project, the most like what's the term, it's like efficient. um they made like over a billion, but with like a $50 million budget. It
Oh
Yeah, it
wow,
just did
fuck.
extremely. Yeah, it did extremely. I believe it's like 55 million budget, but yeah, it just did extremely well off that tiny budget. I forget the term that they called it, but yeah, it broke some records and it was pretty cool. And I think good for Warner Bros. I guess for taking a chance, taking a leap of faith.
Yeah, dude, it's a fire movie. I mean, what are you gonna do? It's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
So
Joaquin Phoenix, dude.
that guy's terrifying in all sorts of
He
ways.
kind of is.
Dude, he's
He's like
just
so
crazy
socially
looking.
awkward that
Yeah.
yeah, and you're just like I can't. I One of those guys that you can watch in an
Yeah.
interview or something like that. You don't have to meet him in person. You can go like, I have no idea what you are thinking of right now, and it could be dangerous. I don't
Just
know.
it just kind of
Can't get a
looks like a
read.
loose, like he's got crazy eyes, dude. He's like,
He he does. And the weight he
ooh.
lost was perfect for the role.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
ugh, it's terrifying.
yeah.
It just
It was.
it's a good movie though, dude.
It's a good movie. It is.
What other movie did I see recently? Have you seen The King of Staten Island yet?
No, I heard Pete Davidson. I heard some good things about it actually.
Dude, it's a funny
Uh,
movie, and I'll tell you what, Bill Burr in that movie is sensational. Dude, he's so
really?
good. Yeah, dude, he's just like he's so funny,
Yeah.
but he's also like a good actor. So it's actually pretty awesome to see like someone who's like a really really uh funny comedian, like also
Yeah.
something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. That's
Yeah.
that is cool. I heard it. Is this? I don't know if this is true. Loosely based on Pete Davidson's life.
Yeah, it's kind of like a fictional telling of
Yeah.
his life. It's kind of like I think the only parts of it that are true are that he has mental health problems and that his dad is dead. And I think that's it.
Yes, yeah. I think it was a big dad one. I think for him, and
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know how I feel about Pete Davidson.
I don't.
I don't know. He's yeah. I mean, yeah.
For me, it's just
Made
kind
some
of like,
questionable decisions. Yeah,
meh.
he's nah, nah. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I agree with that.
his special was fine. It was
Yeah,
okay.
and I mean, yeah, there was like you can tell he's kind of big on the jokes where it's like it's going to get a reaction from people, like making the jokes about his dad 9/11, and you go like, yeah, I mean, I guess maybe enough times passed where you can go like he can make the joke and maybe think
Yeah.
it's funny, but and maybe it was the delivery where you're kind of like, okay, I want to laugh. It was a good joke, but I can't tell if you are like over it. I can't tell if that was like a you laugh at me kind of thing, laugh at me being sad. I go like
No.
so that I don't know. I'm a big fan of comedy, but that kind of stuff I kind of go like, I don't want to get a guilty feeling out of laughing. And
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
think he's big into that. He's big into that. So
Yeah. I don't know. I just think that he's like. I just don't. I don't love. Uh, I mean, this is gonna sound kind of stupid, but I don't love when people make their hardship their identity. You know what I mean?
oh no, totally.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like it's like I
absolutely.
understand that like everything's like shitty things that happen to people definitely shape who they are as a person, but like there are
Yeah.
things outside, and when you focus too much on that, it's just kind of like
Yeah.
you know, give me some.
Yeah.
What else is what else is
What else
different?
defines you? Yeah, that's exactly right.
So it's
It's
just kind of like, yeah, it just puts me off. I'm like, okay, I get where he's coming from. Obviously, he has had a lot more fucking hardship, I think, than
yeah.
a lot of people. But like at the same time, it's kind
Yeah.
of like, what else? Is
What
there
else you got going on?
what
Yeah,
else you got
yeah.
going on? It's so
Yeah. No, I entirely agree with that. It's that's hard. Or like people that like one of the worst things, and it's happened a few times to me, where you meet someone in like their recent grief or they're grieving currently, and you're just like, damn, I feel like I feel guilty about meeting you, which is like it's horrible and like because you want to like feel but you want to empathize with them,
yeah,
but you're just like I don't know the situation. I don't I don't.
yeah.
It's like a sticky situation where you're just like in your mind, you're just like panic, panic, panic. It just
Dude,
it's
I
a rough one.
never know what to say in those situations because
Oh, never.
I'm always like, just inside, just
Yeah,
going,
yeah, exactly. You just nod your head because yeah, because you can't give them any like pointers, like like
no,
oh
that's
that's like a
obnoxious to do
bummer.
too. Yeah, like
Yeah,
if you were like, keep your head up, it's like shut the fuck up.
exactly. You like you don't know what I'm going through.
Yeah, no. So there's
Yeah,
nothing to say that you can. I mean, you could try. It's
seriously.
different if you really know
Yeah,
the person, but if you kind of like vaguely know the
exactly.
person and you're like, keep your chin up, buddy. They're gonna,
Yeah,
it's just
I feel like
condescending. Like,
that's like
fuck off.
exactly. It's kind of demeaning. Yeah, I
Yeah,
no, I agree with that. And you really the only thing you can do is kind of shake your head, or maybe
yeah, or just
you
like one
know,
of these, like,
yeah, like a sigh, like a, and
yeah, just
what do
like a
you?
bunch of
Yeah,
like facial expressions, like, "Aye."
yeah, like I'm following the story. You can see I don't have to say
Yeah,
anything.
yeah,
So
just like do one of these, like,
yeah, yeah.
oh,
And you can't change the subject. You can't
no,
go, all right, so like what's going on at work maybe,
yeah.
or like
Anyways,
you just
oh, that's terrible. Hey, did you hear about Cam Newton of the Patriots? It's pretty crazy, though,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's
So
like
yeah,
I
and
just
then
laid
how
my
do you
heart out
answer?
on the line, and you're talking about an NFL transfer. What the
You're
fuck?
talking about Cam Newton. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't win in that situation.
No, that's a no-win
That's a tough
situation.
truth.
That is what you would call
Yeah.
a classic no-win situation, dude.
No win. And you can't end that. How do you end that conversation? You just walk away at some point and go like, oh, so that's the whole story.
And
Okay.
what you do is
Well,
you do a fake like, oh, you need something like
oh,
a
so
fake.
are you calling
What's
me?
about?
Are you?
What's about? Oh yeah, they'll be there. So, give me 1 second.
Yeah. Okay.
It was good talking to you. And then you walk away,
Yeah,
and they're
I
like,
gotta go. I'm so sorry.
yeah. And then they're like, okay, he's got to go. I get it. And then you're just like,
Yeah. And you hope you sold it well enough. Yeah. Or else that person goes like, that's a fucking asshole.
yeah, dude,
You're just like,
you
ugh.
really got to fucking sell it full bore too. You can't just be like,
Yes.
you can't kind of half-ass it. You really got to be like, oh,
Yeah.
that's what okay, I'm so sorry. And you're like
Yes.
one of
Oh,
those.
I'm
I'm
so
so
sorry.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise you're just like,
Uh,
I gotta go.
and then yeah. Oh man, that is terrible. It's terrible.
Well, what are you gonna do? Everyone lives it. All right, man. I think we're
Yeah.
at an hour.
Alrighty. Yeah.
Let's call it. It was good. It was beautiful.
That was
Thanks for
good.
coming
It
on.
was amazing.
I hope you come on again. I hope you can come visit the studio. This is my studio.
That'd be fun. I like it.
Once I'm
I
done with
like
it.
it.
Yeah.
And that's your new place.
Yep. This is the new
Yes.
house, and
Okay.
this is my new studio. So once
Yes.
I don't really have anything except for a desk this computer's on and my little sign right there.
Little bear, little
My little
sign.
bear.
Yeah.
So I'm still working on it, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah. No, that sounds good, man.
All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on, and I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Thanks for having me.
And
Of course, I appreciate it as well.
let's do it again.
Let's do it.
All right, buddy.
Let's do
Good
it.
talking to you.